The fastest way to fill your pipeline and book out your offers has nothing to do with creating more content, building a bigger audience, or going viral on social media. The secret to consistent sales is something you can actually do in 15 to 25 minutes a day and doesn't require you to be on camera, write a single caption, or show up on stories. Those things can accelerate these, but you don't need them, right, for the system to work. So many business owners think they need more reach when what they actually need is more genuine connection. They're focused on growing their follower count when they should be focused on growing their conversation count. So in this episode, I'm giving you my exact plug and play daily conversation system that will help you turn relationship building into a repeatable 15 to 25 minute daily habit. This is practical and actionable, and it works even if you hate being salesy or pushy like everyone does, because this isn't actually about selling. It's about having real conversations with real people. Just this week, I participated in my friend Marissa Lawton's summit called My Favorite Metric. And the whole premise was that every business owner who participated would share their favorite metric to track in their business. I surprised even myself with what I picked. Not revenue, not profit, not email list growth, not CPL, LTV, or EPLs, not any of the typical numbers that I usually find myself obsessing over. I picked number of conversations. And this wasn't a theoretical choice either. This metric, this practice of having and tracking daily conversations became the strategy that pulled me out of one of the hardest seasons in my business. In 2024, when I had pretty much had to rebuild my business from scratch after hitting my 10-year anniversary and shutting down my agency, this conversation system took me from practically zero sales to fully booked out again with an offer I actually love to deliver within 30 days. Not a new funnel, not a launch, not going viral on social media, not creating more content, daily conversations. And I love metrics, right? I love the hard numbers, the data, the analytics, but this was the most influential metric in my business performance last year. And it also made me feel really good about my business too, not in a dopamine hit kind of way, but in a connected and purpose-filled way too. So, what exactly is the daily conversation system? It is a simple framework for having intentional conversations with the right people in your audience every single day. It's not random DMing, it's not spam, it's not sliding into people's messages with gross pitches. Instead, it's a strategic approach to relationship building that becomes a 15 to 25 minute daily habit. The foundation is this. You've probably heard of the 1,000 True Fans concept by Kevin Kelly. You don't need tons and tons of people following you to have a successful and profitable business. You don't need to be an influencer with hundreds of thousands of followers. You need genuine connections with the right people who actually want what you're offering. But here's where most business owners get stuck, or where I see them get stuck. They know they should be engaging more or building relationships, but they don't have a system for it. So it becomes this thing that they feel guilty about not doing, or they do it inconsistently when they actually remember or have time, or they only do it when they're panicking about sales. The daily conversation system changes that completely, right? It turns relationship building into a repeatable process that you can do in 15 to 25 minutes a day. And I'm not talking every day, I'm talking like work days, right? And when you do this consistently, three things start to happen. One, your pipeline stays full. You're not scrambling when you need sales because you've been having these conversations all along. Two, you actually enjoy your business more, right? This is the surprising thing to me, but when I started having these, I started to feel more connected to my people instead of just broadcasting into the void. And the great thing is they start talking back. And three, sales become easier and more natural when you've been in genuine conversation with someone, when they've told you what they're struggling with, when you've offered value without asking for anything in return. The sales conversation isn't awkward or pushy. It's just the natural next step. And these conversations add up too, right? If you have 5 daily conversations every weekday for a quarter, so 13 weeks, that's 325 conversations. Small daily actions equal big results always. So today we're setting up your daily conversation system together, and I'm making this as plug and play as possible for you. We're going to walk through exactly how to set up the habit, then how to design your own 30-day conversation challenge, and then I'll answer some of the questions and troubleshooting issues that tend to come up whenever I walk a client through this system. So let's get started. All right, so let's build your daily conversation system. There are three parts to setting up this habit: identifying your segments, creating your tracker, and setting up your daily workflow. We're going to walk through each one. Part one is your conversation segments. So, not all conversations work the same way. Different people in your audience need different approaches. So, we're going to start by identifying your conversation segments. I'm going to cover 8 potential segments that you might have in your business. Some may or may not apply to you, and you might have others that are particular to your business and business model. Here are some of the most common ones that I see. The first one is new customers. So these are people who have just bought from you, right? Bought a digital product, bought an offer, maybe not like your one-on-one clients. I would put those people under current clients instead. But this is your like immediate thank you and check-in conversations. Your goal here is to make sure that they feel supported, they feel seen, and they get started with what it is they purchased. Then we have existing clients. So these are the people who are currently working with you, usually in like a one-to-one capacity. So this might be particularly for service-based business owners or coaches. You're staying connected, you're seeing how they're doing, you're engaging with their content. Your goal is to deepen the relationship and really support them showing up. Then we have past clients. So people who've worked with you before. You're staying top of mind for referrals, repeat purchases, or just showing that you care even after the paid engagement has ended. Your goal is to stay connected, so you're the first person they think of when they or someone they know needs what it is you offer. Then we have new followers. So people who just found you on social media, this is your chance to make a great first impression, connect, and understand how they discovered you. Your goal is to start a relationship and gather some intel on what marketing is working. Then we have super engagers, right? These are the people who consistently like, comment, and share your content. They're already raising their hand. Don't ignore them. Your goal is to acknowledge them and move them deeper into your world. Then we have hot leads. So people who've expressed some clear interest, right? They filled out a form, they've asked a question, they're jumping to the sales page multiple times but haven't officially purchased. They're showing buying signals. These get priority attention. Your goal is to answer their questions and invite them to the next step. If you want a tutorial on how to set up a hot lead system in MailerLite, I'll link to that down below. Then we have launch leads, right? So during a launch or a promotion, people who signed up for your event or expressed interest in your offer. This is a temporary segment that gets extra focus during active selling periods. Then we have your inner circle, right? The final one here. This is your network. And I want to spend just a minute here because this segment is really important, even though it's not directly sales focused. Your inner circle are the group of people who who you don't serve. Like they might do what you do or serve the same audience in a different way. So think other coaches, other service providers, other course creators, the people who could refer clients to you or collaborate with you or just understand what it is you're going through. This segment isn't the most important for immediate sales, but it makes a huge difference in how you feel about your business. It keeps you from feeling isolated, opens up collaboration and referral opportunities. It reminds you that you're part of a bigger community. So how do you define your inner circle? Start with the people you already know and respect. Add people whose work you admire. Include folks who serve your audience but aren't direct competitors. Think peers in complementary industries. Okay, so those are your main 8 segments. Now, for each segment you decide to use, you need 2 things. You need a goal for that segment and a base script for reaching out. So for each of these ones, I want you to go through and identify, like, here are the segments I have in my list. And then for each one, you're going to ask yourself, what do you want to accomplish with this segment? I've already walked you through the goals for each one, but I want you to adjust these to fit your business. Then we need the base script. So this is your starting template. It's not a rigid script that you copy and paste word for word for every conversation you have. It's a framework that makes it faster to start conversations without staring at a blank message box every time. Here's an example of a couple of my base scripts. So first one is for new followers. So I say, hi, first name. And if they don't have their name in their profile, like, I go and find it. Thank you for following. I'm happy we're connected. I'd love to know how you find me. It helps me know if my marketing efforts are working. It's amazing the amount of responses I get to that one. And then I add a PS with a personal observation about something something from their profile. That's it. Personal, genuine, includes a small ask that's easy to answer. Then here's my script for new customers in the content planning club. So name, exclamation point. Thank you so much for signing up for the content planning club. Our next quarterly planning retreat is next week. Have you started digging into the planner yet? Let me know if you have any questions. Simple, warm, helpful. So go through each of your segments and create these base scripts for each one. They don't have to be perfect. They're probably going to evolve over time, especially when you start to see what's working. They just need to give you a starting point. Part number 2 is to create your tracker. You need a simple system to track your conversations, right? It doesn't need to be complicated. A simple spreadsheet works perfectly. Here are the fields that I use in my tracker, whether you're using Airtable, Notion, a spreadsheet, whatever. You want to have the name, obviously, the social URL, so you can easily go and find them really quickly, the segment, so which category they're in, the message, so the last thing that you sent to them, the response, what they said back, if they responded at all, last touch point, the date of your last conversation, next touch point, when I should reach out again. I have this set up to auto calculate based on my touch point frequency for that particular segment. Fun facts, so personal details that they've shared. This makes future conversations so much more genuine, right? And personal, like if they mention they just got back from Iceland, or their dog's name is Max, or they're working on launching a new offer, and a notes column here, a notes field. So anything important to remember about the conversation. You don't have to use all of these fields, but having some kind of tracking system means that you're not trying to remember everything in your head, which you won't. And it gives you some data to start to see some patterns. Who is engaging? Who's gone quiet? Who might be ready for a sales conversation? Then part 3. So now we're putting it all together into a system that you can actually use every day or every work day. I'm going to share my exact workflow with you. You can adapt this to fit your business and your time frame, but this gives you a framework, right, to start from, a plug and play here. So first, I start by responding to all the comments on my posts and all DMs. This is baseline engagement. Then I open up my tracker and work through my segment, starting with the highest priority. So I start with new customers. So I find any buyers, send welcome messages, and make sure they're getting started with what they purchase. Then I go to launch leads. So if I'm in a launch, and this one I may have or may not, depending on what I'm kind of working on, I go through anyone who's just signed up for my event or expressed an interest and follow up with them. Then I have existing clients, so I check my client database, pick 1 or 2 to either comment on their content, like their posts, or send them a message about something they're working on. Then I have my hot leads. So if I have anyone in my hot leads group, they get attention. These people are actively considering working with me. Then I have new followers. So I open up my recent followers on Instagram, I pick 1 to follow back and send them my new follower message. Then I have past clients, right? So I see what they're up to and send a message. The whole goal is just to staying connected. Then my super engagers. So I check my engagement database, find someone who's can be consistently showing up and reach out and thank them and start a conversation. Then I have your inner circle, right? So I pick someone from my list and engage with their content or send them a message. That's the workflow. And here's the key. I have all of these links saved in a bookmark folder so I can open everything up with 1 click. Then I set a timer, usually 20 minutes a day after I've posted my daily content. And when the timer goes off, I'm done for the day. Even if I haven't hit those 5 conversations, right? It might be 4 for that day. That's it. That's the system. 3 parts: segments, tracker, daily workflow. Now that you have the system set up, let's talk about how to actually make this habit stick, right? This is where most people don't follow through, right? They learn about a system. I don't know about you. You learn about system, you never do anything with it, and just stays like this good idea that you never used. So they're excited about it. They do it for 3 days, and then life happens and they forget all about it, right? So I want you to design your own 30-day conversation challenge. Step 1 is to set your daily conversation goal. I want you to start smaller than you think you need to. I recommend 3 to 5 conversations a workday, right? That might sound low if you're thinking you need to talk to everyone all the time, but consistency beats volume every single time. And if you set a goal of 20 conversations a day, you might do it for like 1, 2, or 3 days, burn out, and then quit, right? If you set a goal of 3 to 5, you can do that every single day for months. And 3 to 5 quality conversations each workday means roughly 66 to 110 conversations a month. So decide on your number, but start smaller than you think you should. Then step 2, schedule it in your calendar. This is non-negotiable, right? If it's not in your calendar, it won't happen. Decide when you're going to do this every day. So for me, it is during my daily content block, it's my second work block of the morning. For you, it might be during lunch or at the end of your workday. There's no right time, just your time. I also like to make sure that my daily engagement block is right after I've posted my daily content for the day. So it kind of gives a little boost to the algorithm there too. So set a recurring event, treat it like a client call that you cannot miss. Then step 3, set up your systems to make it easy. Remember that bookmark folder I mentioned? Set that up now, right? Save every link that you need in one bookmark folder so you can just open everything with one click. Instagram followers, client database, hot leads list, whatever you need for your workflow. The easier you make it to start, the more likely you are to actually do it. Then step 4, track your results. So keep notes on what happens during your 30-day challenge. How many conversations are you having? How many people are responding? What patterns are you noticing? Are sales conversations starting to happen? This data is gold, right? Because it's going to show you what is working and what needs adjusting, like maybe some scripts, or maybe you need to rework your segments a bit. Then step 5, create your if-then plan for when you miss a day, right? Because you will. Life happens. You get sick. You have an emergency. You forget. This is where pre-mortems come in. Instead of waiting until you're 5 days behind and then deciding what to do about it, you're deciding right now what your plan is. So create your if-then plan. If I miss a day, then I will blank. Maybe your rule is if I miss a day, then I will make it up by having double conversations the next day. Or maybe if I miss a day, then I never miss 2 days in a row. Or maybe if I miss a day on a response day, then I do my outreach on days 1 or 2 of the week, and then the rest is for responses. There's research backing this up. In a meta-analysis of 94 studies with over 8,000 participants, people using if-then type planning were about twice as likely to achieve their goals than those who just set goals without specific if-then plans or backup plans. So decide your if-then plan right now. This one decision will help you stay consistent even when life, as always, gets messy. 30 days, that's all I'm asking. Commit to 30 days of daily conversations and see what starts to happen in your business. All right, so let's troubleshoot some of the questions that tend to always come up when I'm walking a client through setting up the system. FAQ 1, what if I could do more conversations? Should I? So have the discipline to pace yourself. So if you're the kind of person who goes all in on new systems, you might be thinking you could do way more than 3 to 5 conversations a day, and maybe you could for a few days. But I want you to resist that urge. The system works because it's sustainable. If you burn yourself out in week 1, you won't stick with it, and the consistency is what is going to create results. So even if you could do more, stick to your goal, right? Whatever that is, build the habit, prove to yourself you can do this every single day for at least 30 days, and then you can increase if you want to. Frequently asked question number 2 is what if no one's responding, right? So first, that is normal. Not everyone is going to respond, and that is okay. I am a gardener, and it's just like you're planting seeds. Some are going to sprout immediately. You're going to see those little seedlings start to come up. Some are going to take months, and some are never going to grow. That's just how it works, right? But if you're consistently getting low response rates, like barely anyone is responding after that 30 days, I want you to look at your approach. So are you leading with a pitch? Are you asking them to do something that takes a lot of effort? Are you making it all about you, right? So try a different approach at that point after 30 days. Include a really small ask, something they can answer in one sentence or a yes or no. My question about how they find me works so well because it's easy to answer and people like to help, right? Or try leading with a genuine curiosity about them. Comment on something specific from their content or profile, make it personal. Then frequently asked question number 3, how do I supercharge the system? So if you want to amplify your reach even more, there are 2 strategies that you can add to this, right? It works really well with anything you're already doing, like creating content or posting, but 2 little extra strategies here. So first is a $5 a day boosting strategy. So take your best content and put a tiny ad budget behind it to get it in front of more of the right people. Then those people enter your conversation system when they follow you or engage. Second is using ManyChat automation. So set up a simple automated message for people who interact with your content in a specific way, using a keyword to get a link to something. Then those people become another segment that you can follow up with personally. Both of these strategies multiply the number of people entering your conversation system, but start with a basic system first, get consistent with that, and then you can layer on amplification if you want. Frequently asked question number 4, is this just for Instagram? No. This system works on any platform where you can have two-way conversations. So, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, even email, if that's where your people are, right? You could also do this for email if you're not on social media. It might just be a little slower, but it absolutely works. I have a client who is running workshops, right? So, she's running paid workshops regularly. And we added a form to her thank you page asking something like, what would you like me to cover in the workshop? Or what questions can I answer for you? What are you struggling with related to this topic? And then she responded back personally to everyone who filled it out. That turned into conversations that turned into sales for her membership. And the conversion rate of those launches was nearly double than when she was not doing this. The principles are the same. Identify your segments, track your conversations, show up consistently, adjust the workflow to fit your platform, but the system stays the same. So, what is next? Now you have the daily conversation system, and this alone can transform your business if you use it consistently. But this conversation system works even better if it's integrated with a complete content strategy, because your conversations should be feeding your content ideas, and your content should be bringing in people into your conversation system, and all of it should be pointing back to your offers in a way that makes sales natural and consistent. That's exactly what we do inside of the 10K monthly content system. That's my signature program that helps you set up your complete content system in 30 days or less. Not just conversations, not just social media, not just podcast content, not just video content, not just email, all of it working together in a streamlined way that consistently generates leads and sales. You get all the templates, the workflows, and step-by-step process, at least 12 months of group coaching support, plus our yearly live rounds, and you get lifetime access to everything, including all future updates. This is for service providers, coaches, and course creators who are really tired of creating content that doesn't generate sales or grow their audience, or creating these ambitious content plans and then never following through on them. These are for the people who want a proven system that actually works without burning them out. So if you're ready to simplify your content strategy and finally get consistent with content that converts, check out the links in the description. The daily conversation system you learned today, that's one piece of the complete puzzle we build together inside the 10K monthly content system. In a world that is obsessed with going viral and building a massive audience and becoming internet famous, there's something radical about choosing real conversations instead. Real conversations compound, they build trust, they turn into clients and referrals and a business that feels good to run. So start your 30-day conversation challenge, commit to those 3 to 5 daily conversations, and then just see what happens. I think you're going to be surprised at how much changes when you simply show up consistently and genuinely to have real conversations with real people. And if you need practice, feel free to add me to your list.